Right guys, I'm not in France anymore. I've nipped over the border to Belgium, to Weize, where there is basically an auto jumble with some cars and bikes as well. So we'll have a look around, and then when we come back out, we'll look around the car park, because there's always some very rare and interesting stuff here at Weize. So let's have a look. Right, the Continentals like the Tiddlers, and there's a whole stand of 50s. There's yellow ITOM, or ETOM, and then the green one's a Royal Nord, which I've never heard of, from 1959. Then another couple of ETOMs and another Royal Nord with a Garelli in blue in the centre. Shame I can't get any closer. All superbly restored again. I must try and find out what a Royal Nord is. The engines look pretty similar to most of the 50s of the time. Right, this appears to be an Escol. Another one I've never heard of. There's a twin port single hiding in there underneath all that metal work. Clearly pre-war, but absolutely no idea of age. Interesting. Steering, girder forks, steering damper on the top. Obviously quite advanced motorcycle. With a hand shift. Pair of Ducati 50s. Again, not the sort of thing you see very often in Britain. And another couple of items. One with a rather bizarre front mudguard. Peculiar clearance issues there, I think. And then a Kreidler racer, which is absolutely minute, 50cc racer. I could probably pick it up under one arm, it's so small. Then we've got a Flandria record. Dutch, I think, Flandria, Belgian Dutch. I thought the name record had been taken by Garelli, but maybe that's only in the UK. Again, a beautiful restoration job. Next to a Moto Marini. A Corsarino, so a pirate. A Moto Marini pirate. And then another racer, not sure of make. Another Marini, a Marini 50 racer from 1961. And then below, yet more Tiddlers, Moto Aspes. And then, while we're talking about little engines, how about this, Harley Davidson? Again, it's so old, I've absolutely no idea of age. Very early is all I'll say. Tiny engine. Basically a bicycle with an engine tucked in the bottom. But there you go, Harley Davidson. Obviously made its way to Belgium, I would say, pre-First World War. And then a Levada triple. A Harley Air Mackie 250, I think, looking at it. It's got drum brake, 250 I think. And then a couple of Tiddlers again. A Malanka. And then a Samati. Same engine in this Samati as the Malanka. So obviously Italian. Then a restoration project. Another name I've never heard of. A Santa Maria from Italy. No idea. And next to it, a Rosato Ringo. We've got pre-war French Magnat Dijon, side valve single, And then next to that, a beautiful Nimbus from Denmark, an inline 4-cylinder overhead valve with exposed valves. Beautiful bike, beautifully restored and fairly uncommon. And then next to that, a lady with a Jap side valve engine, 600cc, again pre-war. So maybe a small show, but they've got some interesting names. Quick look at the cars first. Got a Ponton Mercedes, lovely condition. And then a Porsche, quite modern. An Alfa, lovely little Alfa. Fiat 500. And then a Volvo. Is it the 144? I can't remember what these are. I think the 144s. 544s, sorry. 544s. Let's have a look. Yeah, 544. Got there in the end. Yeah, I love these Type 3s. This is a 1600. I think the early ones were 15. And it's a car that stuck with me because our next door neighbour, when I was 8, bought one of these. And as I lived in a very small town, it seemed incredibly exotic. And it's sort of stuck with me since. Don't see many for sale in Britain though. And they're very expensive. Atra 530. Something very loud coming in on the bike front. Convertible Carman gear. And then a Pontiac. So let's go and have a look and see who's making all that noise, shall we? I wonder who's making a bit of a racket. It's an MV Agusta. Early 70s by the look of it. Late 60s, early 70s. It's got the huge 4 leading shoe front drum on it. It's actually a 350. I thought it was one of the 750s by the rack here. But it's a 350 running split pipes to give it a 4-pipe rear end. 1976 350 competition. A rare motorcycle. So let's see what else there is. And we've got Honda Black Bomber in a French Moto Gilet. Oh, and next to which is a 900 Ducati Super Sport. Probably the bike I would lost off most if I thought I could ever get on it anymore. But probably too extreme for me now. But a magnificent motorcycle. We have a Vincent. Must be a fairly rare bike in Belgium, I would have thought. And a Sunbeam with a rather Zeppelin-esque sidecar. North-south twin, shaft drive. And then another unusual, a Wilson. Again, not a make I know. Wonderful patina, just been oiled up to keep the patina. A Wilson. The headlamp's made in Germany, so I assume Wilson is a German motorcycle. The engine looks like Sachs. We should tie in with that. And then we've got this, which is badged as a Marie on the tank, but looks remarkably like a Sachs Hercules, which was a army supplied motorcycle. Even the drum is marked Sachs, so I suspect the Marie is just a rebadging for some market. And then an amazing Norton Commando. I think it might be Sealy, that frame, but I'm not entirely sure. But pretty impressive piece of metal work around that engine. Beautiful. And very, very small and slim. And then next to that, Hercules, badged as a Hercules. In a lovely R90S, again one of my top faves. Lovely. Very clean, but with marks, so it's not been restored. 88,000 kilometers, what's that? 55,000 miles. And still looking wonderful. Honda 554. Paris-Dakar BMW. And next to that, a Honda CB250, but a military one. And Honda supplied the 250s and the 360s, I believe, to the French army. So I suspect this might be one of them. Decommissioned. Another lovely Zundat moped. Honda 750, 850 Californian, my mate Rob's absolute favourite bike of all time. CBX ProLink, the later Mark II sort of CBX, a bit more of a tourer, and this one's kitted up with panniers. Couple of modern retros, Deauville. Oh, another Vincent. I told you the show brings out some rare and exotic stuff. So that's two Vincents just parked up outside. And then a cracking shovelhead FLH. About the same era as mine, because it's still got the banana calipers on. But this one, unlike mine, has got lots of its original type touring pack stuff on, and lots of additional accessories like the bars and things. I would really like to get hold of a seat like this for mine, because I'm afraid my joints don't tolerate the low seat on mine very well. I'd also quite like a set of silencers like this for mine as well. Very clean. If anyone's got a single post seat they want to flog me for a reasonable price, let me know. I'm also collecting the bits for this on mine. I've got the bar and a couple other bits. Then a Heikel Tourist, which has sneaked in when I was looking at other bikes. Looks pretty original. Dash with a clock as well as a speedo. Alloy floorboards. There is a book from the early 60s about a couple that went around the world on one of these. I did have a copy. If you can find it, read it, it's quite interesting. And then a Spanish Lambretta, an I-bar. There's a DS sneaking in. Very smart.